What are some of the biggest cryptos to invest in and how much to invest in these cryptos? So let's have a look at the information in the video. Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. Currently on CoinMarketCap with the latest crypto prices. Before I begin, this must be said, none of this is legal, tax and/or financial advice. These are just my own opinions or those of the authors listed in the video, and I am not a financial advisor. Please always do your own research. Now that's been said, let's jump into these. My first pick of all the cryptos, it needs no introduction, it is Bitcoin. The foundation crypto is still a popular pick amongst many investors in the space. It currently sits at $9,313, just under half of its all-time high. It is the talk of the town. Many institutional investors have an interest in Bitcoin. If it's not for transactions, then it will be as a store of value. It could eventually, and I believe it will gradually, replace gold as a store of value over time when you consider how much easier it is to transfer hundreds of millions of dollars of wealth opposed to doing the equivalent with gold. It's not just popular amongst everyday people getting involved in the space, but institutional investors are taking an interest. Bakkt is one of the companies that comes to mind that is promoting digital assets such as Bitcoin, especially with its regulated futures options, and getting more people to jump on board and support it. Other than Bakkt, we have the CME Group, which features in this article here by CryptoSlate, and they've been actively interested in digital assets such as Bitcoin. And there's a graph here that shows the CME Group, or the increased interest in Bitcoin futures and the volume since it launched back at the end of 2017. A substantial increase in futures contracts going from about 1,000 up to beyond 5,000 now. Tim McCourt, a managing director at CME Group, he says, and I do quote, "We're pleased our CME Bitcoin futures have rapidly evolved over the past 2 years to become one of the most liquid listed Bitcoin derivatives products in the world, averaging nearly 6,400 contracts, and that's roughly 31,850 Bitcoin traded each day in 2019. That's a huge volume being traded on a daily basis. We want the overall space to grow, so beyond institutional investors, of course, I want everyday people getting involved in the market to help boost usage and the prices overall. Now, beyond the CME Group, we also have Morgan Creek Capital, and an example of their digital asset fund where Bitcoin comprises of 81% of their portfolio there. The point I'm making is there is a lot of interest from major companies in Bitcoin. Another highly anticipated aspect of Bitcoin is the block reward halving countdown. That's just over 100 days away, and this is expected to propel the price, perhaps not straight after the halving, which is scheduled for the 12th of May, but I anticipate towards the end of this year we're going to see the price of Bitcoin much higher than what we have at present. All of this, plus a lot of the updates relating to Bitcoin, will improve its scalability and make it faster in the future. Bear in mind, we are still in the beginning. If you imagine the internet 20 years ago compared to what we have now, I anticipate a lot of improvements with Bitcoin. Next up on my list, and before I continue, I'll provide a summary of these cryptos at the end of the video, including a percentage allocation of my crypto portfolio for each of these. So no need to write down numbers, it'll all be there for you towards the end. So I'm listing these in order of preference. Now Ethereum, despite delays in its upgrades, such as the highly anticipated Casper upgrade, and it being down considerably from its all-time high, although this has occurred with other cryptos as well, I still have faith in the cryptocurrency and the blockchain itself. Why is that? Well, there are a lot of companies and institutions supporting Ethereum as part of this enterprise Aetherium Alliance. To give you a quick summary, it is a member-driven standards organization whose charter is to develop open blockchain specifications that drive harmonization and interoperability for businesses and consumers worldwide. For some perspective, some of the numbers here, it says 19 tech, industry, and legal advisory groups involving over 45 countries, 180 member companies, and over 1,400 individual members. The Alliance is very active. There's information here about news and upcoming events. A link to all of these resources will be available in the description, as always. So that's one reason. Something else to consider as well is there are many cryptocurrencies that are built on Ethereum, and these are called ERC20 tokens. And there are ERC223 tokens as well. There's a list here from this website, AIDO, EIDOO. Many of these cryptos use the Ethereum blockchain to operate. So if Ethereum goes bust, they would have to make substantial changes, or they will need to migrate to a different blockchain if that were the case. So I don't see Ethereum disappearing. Many of these companies have a vested interest, although that's a different topic for discussion. So the point I'm making is we have the Enterprise Aetherium Alliance, presence of ERC20 and ERC223 tokens. Another positive sign for Ethereum is that the overall of app adoption is increasing. So according to this report here by the Daily Hodl, and this was from last week, 1.28 million active users in 2019. And this article goes into this in further detail. And this includes the original source from DAP.com. I see a good return on investment, although it needs to go ahead with it. Finally needs to release Casper, which would migrate Ethereum from a proof of work algorithm to a hybridized proof of work and then proof of stake. Now, my third crypto that I favor is XRP, which is poised to revolutionize the gross payment settlement system, so making it a lot easier to do global payments in a fraction of the time, costing only cents as opposed to several dollars that are being charged by banks or various financial institutions if you want to convert from one currency to another. It uses the XRP ledger, and the company behind this is called Ripple. However, these are two separate entities. Now, people are skeptical of XRP, the cryptocurrency, because Ripple still holds a significant portion, nearly half of it, in escrow, which is gradually being released. And people in the XRP community are rather mixed about having this potential IPO, which Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse indicated could happen in the next 12 months. Some people in the XRP community are not pleased about this. Others are neutral to positive about it. For brevity and to avoid any further digression, I'm not going to elaborate on this. A link with further details if you're interested. Back to XRP, Ripple argues that it's fast, scalable, distributed, and stable. From my experience, rather pleased with it. It is faster than Ethereum and Bitcoin, and definitely faster than the traditional systems we have at the moment, that's for sure. One more thing I want to bring to your attention is this infographic about companies using XRP. Brad Garlinghouse has made announcements previously about dozens of banks using it by the end of 2019. Based on this, I'm not seeing dozens of banks using it. I am seeing a lot of banks trialing it and accepting it. Whilst some progress has been made with banks getting banks to use XRP, it's still fairly slow adoption overall. I encourage you to check this out. It's from stedus.hr. It gives a good summary overall, nice and clear, fairly well researched. The next crypto on the list, which is my favorite, is Cardano, currently sitting at 10th on the overall crypto market cap, a price of approximately 5.5 cents per ADA. Cardano is a fully open source decentralized public blockchain and crypto project, and is developing a smart contract platform which, according to its website, claims to deliver more advanced features than any protocol previously made. It places a lot of emphasis on scientific philosophy and an approach driven by academic research. My last video talks about ADA, Cardano, and the various companies and organizations behind it. I do recommend checking that out if you want comprehensive analysis of the crypto project. There's a lot of wonderful work happening. In a nutshell, we've got Ouroboros, what Cardano claims to be the first provably secure proof-of-stake algorithm reviewed by academics. I like the scientific philosophy behind this, and they're placing a lot of emphasis on decentralization. If I go into the Cardano roadmap, it gives you a timeline of the crypto project. We're currently at Shelley, and Cardano is slowly making progress. They've launched the Shelley Incentivized Testnet. It allows people to use ADA in their wallet, so the Daedalus or Yoroi wallet, whereby the former is the official open source wallet of Cardano, and the latter is the wallet that can be used on Ledger or Trezor, developed by Emergo, and they're one of the companies behind Cardano. So you can stake your testnet balance, access stake delegation features, or run a stake pool. And there's further information here for people that are interested. There's a rewards calculator there as part of the testnet. Let's have a look at some of the partnerships and use cases of Cardano. A major one that occurred last year in June was IOHK, one of the main companies behind Cardano, with the Georgian government and universities. It's part of this memorandum of understanding for verifying educational records and doing so saving time and minimizing the amount of manual effort as well. And they're working in Uzbekistan as well to help provide security token offerings. And if I scroll down this article, just touching on using the Cardano blockchain technology to work with the government and then build blockchain infrastructure and support local universities. This partnership here as well with the shoewear company New Balance to help get authenticity on the blockchain. This is a piece by CryptoSlate here. So Cardano is also getting involved in the market of verifying a product's authenticity using blockchain technology. And this ties in with the next two cryptos here. Going down the list now. So picks number 5 and 6. I will talk about these individually, but IOTA and VeChain. Now I'll talk about IOTA first. It's currently 21st based on circulating market cap, approximately 28 cents per IOTA. So I believe IOTA could play a key role in the Internet of Things system, where you imagine everything is interconnected, and all of this real-time data, huge amounts of data being gathered on an ongoing basis 24/7, and that's contributing to the overall functioning of a city. So you think of the smart cities concept. Anyway, if I scroll down here, you click on the IOTA Vision, it gives you further information about the token and its use cases. I want to touch on some of the partnerships as well. One of the key partnerships that comes to mind is this deal that they've made with Jaguar Land Rover, and it incorporates IOTA, whereby they'll report real-time data about traffic and road conditions, and you earn small amounts of IOTA in return. Another reason why I love this, I think this is great, not just because you're getting rewarded for sending data through to the overall system, but when you think about it, people who have Jaguars and Land Rovers generally have quite a bit of disposable income, and this could also raise the profile of other cryptocurrencies. I see benefits all around. Now I want to jump over to VeChain. Currently sits at 0.5 cent. VeChain is the blockchain application platform that uses the VeChain token, and there's also VeChain Thor, which is used for transactions. One of the key partnerships I wanted to draw your attention to, which will tie in with its use cases as well, this accord with Walmart China, and it uses the VeChain blockchain technology, or using VeChain, it helps verify the authenticity of products, especially with highly perishable goods. And this article says here 100 product lines, so that's one application of VeChain. If I go back to the website, if I scroll down to the solutions area, here are some other use cases with the technology. It can be used for monitoring carbon emissions, consumer confidence index, automotive passport solution. So it was a partnership with BMW that they engaged in. Energy, agriculture, logistics and supply chain management, electronic document deposit solution. They're opting to cover a lot of ground. Now, will they be able to achieve these solutions in a quick, easy, convenient and affordable manner, and how well can they compete with, say, Cardano or some other competitors? Moving on to the next crypto, and that is Chainlink. So it's currently 17th on the list, sits at $2.69. It has remained in the top 20 for about 9 to 12 months now. It's really picked up in momentum, a very promising project. That is why it features in my list. Off to the Chainlink website. The purpose of this crypto and the project behind it is to help facilitate the connectivity between real-world data, events and payments. And it says here connecting to any external API, sending payments anywhere. If I go to the features tab, it gives you a nice visual overview of Chainlink's role in helping blockchain technology progress. It says here smart contracts require secure middleware to connect them to real-world data. This external data will trigger the contract, creating the need for its higher reliability. The problem at present, smart contracts can't access data on their own, with external resources such as off-chain data and APIs. And as a side note, there is a wonderful video here from MuleSoft giving you clear examples about what is an API. I highly recommend watching this. So going back to Chainlink, at the moment, as an alternative, if you were to have like a centralized machine, well, then there's that single point of failure. And then you're depending on the security and success of that machine to run. I'm just opting for a simpler description. Now, the solution that's proposed by Chainlink, a highly reliable, decentralized network of machines here, or Oracle network, says provides the same security as smart contracts themselves. You're allowing multiple chain links to evaluate the same data before it becomes a trigger and eliminate one point of failure by having it distributed there. Something highly secure, reliable, and trustworthy, providing a clear connection between the platforms and the data there. It acts as a successful intermediary and having something distributed. More information in the white paper. So who is using Chainlink? If I go back to the home page here, it refers to a few of the companies that they are partnered with. So there's Swift, helping connect banks to smart contracts. There's Google, using companies like Google and Oracle, and then offering secure oracles needed for next generation smart contracts. A leading independent research firm for smart contract design, and they've collaborated with computer science academics, and there's additional information there on the website. So there are some big names, major partnerships. I see a lot of promise behind it. One of my upcoming videos will be about Chainlink. I'll be covering this in more detail. I haven't really given this as much airtime as it deserves. Let me know along the way what you think of my nominated cryptos and information I've left out. There is a lot to cover, as you can imagine. Binance Coin is my next pick. I see Binance playing a huge role in the future, really taken off over the past couple of years. They've expanded throughout the entire world. They've got lots of different currencies they're supporting. Something I find very promising says Binance adds 3 new fiat currency gateways for customers. If I scroll down to the bottom of this, it says here to further facilitate crypto trading with fiat currencies, Binance collaborated with Paxful, a leading peer-to-peer crypto marketplace. Via the incorporation of the virtual Bitcoin kiosk, it allows customers to purchase digital currencies in more than 167 fiat currencies. That's a staggering amount of currencies that can be supported, and therefore expanding their reach throughout the world. I think that helps in getting more inclusivity in the space, and of course having more potential clients as well. Binance has their finger in many pies. There's the Binance Exchange, Binance Academy, so people can learn about blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. As a side note, in regards to the Binance Academy, there was this piece about Ethereum Casper that I forgot to mention earlier. Binance Charity Info Labs, so that's in reference to blockchain projects and startups. There's the token launch platform, Research Trust Wallet, it's their official crypto wallet, in addition to the Binance Decentralized Exchange. They also offer lending and staking. Before I elaborate, I want to mention that none of this is paid advertising. On to the next crypto. Next one in the list is Basic Attention Token. What it is, it's a token that is being used by the Brave browser. It's a relatively new browser that's aiming to take on Chrome, Safari, and even Firefox to help enhance the overall experience, not just for users, but advertisers and publishers as well. Thinking of content creators, you can sign up to the Brave Rewards creators section so people can tip you small amounts of BAT. The ad money is being spent on people who opt in to view ads. So the good thing, a unique feature with Brave is that you can choose to exclude ads, or if you choose to view ads between 1 and 5 times an hour, you can be rewarded with tiny amounts of BAT. That's the whole link with BAT and Brave. And there's an emphasis on privacy. You can browse with using Brave as well with Tor if you're interested, or you can just get a VPN whilst you're at it. But anyway, other than making money from viewing ads, you also get sponsored images. Well, that's what they're trialing at the moment. So just to describe it, you open the tab, you opt in to view a sponsored image, and you also earn a small amount of BAT that way. You then need to do this online verification process with a third party. You need to provide like your ID and, exchange quite a few details. I'm not fond of that. Now, they talk a lot about privacy, which, to their defense, there are wonderful private features available. However, it would be nice if you could redeem your crypto without having to exchange all of these details, or ensure that the data are protected but again, you should always err on the side of caution. Nevertheless, it's a wonderful browser. It's good to have alternatives, so well done to Brave and BAT. I recommend looking into it. So a couple more. Next one is Tezos. Now, I haven't dealt with this much. It's currently $1.57, 16th on the overall list of cryptos. So it's an open source platform. It says secure, upgradable, and built to last. Just like Ethereum, there's emphasis on smart contracts here. It's unique in the sense that it's a self-evolving, or says self-amending blockchain, and it upgrades itself in a way that avoids the need to split or fork, which has plagued various cryptocurrencies, particularly Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's divided the communities. These forks in the crypto community have been very problematic, and they've stalled a lot of development of the blockchain platforms. It's led to delays in cryptocurrencies really taking off and being adopted. This self-amending features a very useful characteristic here: on-chain governance. So everyone involved in Tezos can oversee how the protocol is run. It says the election cycle provides a formal and systematic procedure for stakeholders to reach agreement on proposed protocol changes. Decentralized innovation. It allows for individual people or groups that are working to improve the protocol, and they get paid. Smart contracts and formal verification there. Proof of stake. So at the moment, it's got a leg up. It's a step ahead of Ethereum, as Ethereum have been opting to migrate to proof of stake for a while now. Delegation. And there's information here in the Tezos white paper. And just like other cryptos that use proof of stake, stakers, or in this case they're called bakers, being used to validate transactions on the platform. It's a way for people to then be compensated for their contribution to the overall network. If I jump back to the home page here, there are partnerships listed here. Well, it talks about the companies and foundations involved in the operations of Tezos and some partners there. Not as extensive as Ethereum with the Enterprise Aetherium Alliance. The last one I have here is Neo. Just to be short and sweet, Neo is touted as the Chinese Ethereum. It is currently 22nd on the list of cryptos, $11.36 per Neo. It was at one point at approximately $180 per Neo, but down like many other cryptos. So Neo, and the key features here with the technology. So this DBFT consensus algorithm says high stability, high transactions per second, and single block finality. Voting mechanism, the Oracle, smart contracts platform, again just like Ethereum. And there is a timeline of Neo there throughout. There's a lot of hype about Neo 3.0 and plans to like that launching this year, and it's going to significantly increase throughput with X number of transactions per second. Now they're the cryptos. So I'm going to provide a very quick overview of the cryptos I've just spoken about and information about how much I would invest as part of my crypto portfolio. And if you're liking the content so far, click subscribe and smash the bell icon as well. This is what I have for those not looking at the screen. Bitcoin 31%, Ethereum 15%, XRP 13%, Cardano 9%, IOTA 5%, VeChain 5%. So far, just for the top 6 cryptos listed there, that's 78%. So I'm putting a lot of emphasis on the top 3 and then gradually just popping a little bit into some of the last cryptos listed here. Chainlink 4.5%. So for every $1,000, that would be $45. BAT, same amount, 4.5%. Binance Coin, 4%. Tezos, 4%. I forgot to mention, I would allocate, I've listed Dash, Monero, and Zcash. Now, I've put them all together because they're privacy coins. Many people say privacy coins are going to die because of excessive regulations. Whilst that could be the case, I don't think they'll disappear completely, and I still believe they have a role to play in future. I would put 2.5 to 3% either or combine for all 3 of those, or I'll just pick one. And I'm not going to make a wild guess because they all have their merits, and that's a whole new video in itself. I've actually made a video about privacy coins. Neo would then round off the last 2%. I also want to cover some potential wildcards. Golem, decentralized supercomputer, and it collects all of the excess power from various users' machines, from PCs through to data centers. Stellar Lumens, it's another crypto that's used for remittances, so similarities to XRP. EOS, sold as one of these Ethereum killers and an awesome app for decentralized applications, or dApps. I don't think they've lived up to the expectations of the $4.1 billion ICO, which is the largest ICO in history and will probably remain that way for a long time, in my opinion. Ethereum has more usage than EOS in terms of active users and dApps and all of that. I don't know, I've lost a bit of faith in it, although I still hold it, and I hope it does well. Amise Go, they're helping to revolutionize peer-to-peer transactions and payment systems, especially for people who don't have access to conventional banking. They're not as actively involved in marketing what they're doing, which is good and bad. It can work either way. I'm not sure how big it's going to get in future, although I still hold it. Litecoin, I am actually going to show you a quick article here. Now here is the article which speaks about Charlie Lee, who is the founder of Litecoin, in a recent article where he once again spoke about encouraging people to purchase Bitcoins before going into the altcoin market. Now, as the founder of Litecoin, many Litecoin enthusiasts, I'm sure there are still many out there, would be surprised one of the key people of the project saying buy Bitcoin before buying your own cryptocurrency. So that raised a few question marks and got people thinking, well, why would you do that? Before I forget, a list of image references. Thank you to these creators here providing the logos just for acknowledgements. If you've listened this far, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with my latest content. Don't forget to smash the bell icon. Like this if you enjoyed it. Share it with someone who you believe will benefit from this. If you have something to say, feel free to leave your feedback in the comments section. Thank you very much. I hope you're having a wonderful day or evening or afternoon. I'll speak to you soon. More price analyses coming up shortly. Thanks again. Take it easy. See ya.